radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Welcome, Fade to Black, bespoke radio for the masses. Fade to Black, Thursday, March 8th, 2018, 67 days into the new year, just 298 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California, and I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all around the United States. Hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Open lines all night long. Jon Rappoport's going to be here with us. No More Fake Newsroom Live. The call-in numbers are 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Simple enough, at JChurchRadio. Hashtag F2B is the sandbox on Twitter. Any questions or comments? Hashtag F2BQ on Twitter. You can go follow, like, and subscribe. Everything is over at JimmyChurchRadio.com. It's all simple. Follow, like, and subscribe. You can email throughout the show, Jimmy at JimmyChurchRadio.com. Okay? Jimmy at JimmyChurchRadio.com. And now, we've got a lot to talk about tonight. All right? Hold on. You know what? I'm going to try to keep on talking. It's open lines all night long. Open lines all night long following Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom Live. All right. Now, let's get straight to it. Breaking news. President Donald Trump agrees to meet with North Korea's Kim Jong-un, Kim Fatty Fat, by this May 2018. The breaking news happened a couple of hours ago. And I can go back and check. When I started to get the leaks on all of this, which, again, came to me before the mainstream media, when I busted things out, let's see if I can get a timestamp here. I did it at, there you go, 3:51 p.m. today. And that was the second tweet. My first tweet went out. Well, the point is, a few hours. I thought it was a couple of hours before showtime, but it turns out. Let me see here. 3:44 p.m. is when I did it. And anyway, the point is, and it's very simple. When the news started to break, it was shocking, and it seemed like it was almost unbelievable. I had no way to vet it. I couldn't go online and check it. The news was coming into me, and I decided, I made that executive decision. That's it. I'm just going to run with it, and I did. And the verbiage that I used that came in to me was virtually identical to everything else that was going around out there. The press conference from the South Koreans happened as promised at, it was supposed to be at 7 p.m. Eastern time. It went down at about 10 after 7 Eastern. And I did everything about 30 minutes right before that. Nonetheless, the verbiage was all correct. everything that I announced and everybody else started to announce a few minutes later. The point is I wasn't first. Of course I wasn't. It just takes a while for everything to cycle through. 1 minute, 2 minute, and then everything launched. But I was a little nervous that I was jumping the gun. I could have waited, but I just thought that the news was too big and too important not to just get out there right away. So I chose to do that. Now, nonetheless, this is how it started to break down. And these are my notes that I did. I'm looking at the clock here about 3 hours ago. North Korea offered to suspend, and this is all preempting any meeting agreement or anything, apparently. North Korea offered to suspend their nuclear missile testing alongside their invitation for talks with Donald Trump, which turned out to be an accepted invitation for talks with Donald Trump. So more on everything in just a bit. Trump has accepted the invitation. It's supposed to go down. They announced today by May. Okay, by May. And look, I've got the notices here about audio and YouTube. There's nothing I can do. I've reset it. I'm not going to start the show over or do anything like that. If you're getting bad audio on YouTube, get off of YouTube and go to our website or KGRA. Okay, there's nothing I can do about that. Our next event, I want to, I also announced last night, I'll get back to North Korea in just a second, and I'm sure that we're going to be talking about this all night on the show, and I do want to hear everybody's opinions here. This kind of stuff has been announced before. Not this, to the North Korean dictator, whoever it may be at the time, in meeting with the United States president has never happened before. So this is a big deal. All right, so I'll get everybody's opinions on it throughout the show tonight. I announced last night that the E-City Roadshow is going to be in Berkeley, California. That is going down this Saturday, March 10th, from 10:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. at the Don Drubling, 2748 Adeline Street in Berkeley, California. Okay, now you can click on the banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. Click on the E-City Roadshow banner. It's right there. Get details. But if you're in the San Francisco area, anywhere north of Los Angeles, you're going to want to be there. Okay, so it's 10:30 to 1:30 p.m. Saturday, March 10th. Details and schedule is over at jimmychurchradio.com. Click on the banner. Our next event's coming up. It's coming up quickly. Is June 1st through the 4th, 2018, Contact in the Desert in Indian Wells, Palm Springs, Southern California, at the Renaissance Resort and Spa. Click on the banners over at jimmychurchradio.com. Get your tickets. The schedule is posted. There may be some surprise. If you look at the list of speakers that are there this year, that's absolutely incredible. Doesn't get any better than that. But I know that they are reserving the right to post some surprise guests that will be coming up. You're going to want to be at Contact in the Desert. Okay, so go and get your tickets now. And don't forget to sign up for our Soul Tech Gathering at E-City Ranch. That's going down this August 9th through the 12th up at E-City Ranch. And click on the Soul Tech Gathering banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. Okay, it's really simple and easy, but E-City Ranch is quite possibly the most magical place on planet Earth. Tops Disneyland for sure, and it is the Disneyland of the supernatural. Everything goes down up there, so we're going to have a great time teaching. We've got a great lineup of speakers and teachers, and it's going to be nothing but knowledge all night, all weekend long. All right, so there you go. Don't forget to become a Fadernight over in our membership section on the site. You can get T-shirts, autographed hats, all that stuff, bunker cam. And you can also subscribe for our podcast, which we have over 800 archive shows. It's just $2 a month. And don't forget, all of our sponsors like Life Change Tea, GetTheTea.com, River Moon Coffee, New Pharma, GNU Pharma, Ancient Life Oil, Sacred Skulls, New Mana Food Storage, and, of course, Bearing Optics. All of their banners and the promo codes and everything that you need is over at jimmychurchradio.com. Visit all of our sponsors because that is how we bring this show to you. Let's get the show cracking really quick. Happy birthday to today, David Wilcock. Today is 29 years old. I bet you didn't know that. Happy birthday, David. Also, Mickey Dolenz today is 73. And a couple of other things I need to get out of the way, because on this day in history, OTD, it went down. I believe it went down during this show, no pun intended. 2014, Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 vanishes with more than 200 people on board, and investigators to this day have failed to find any trace of the aircraft or determine why it vanished. Fader fact. This is a fact. Self-driving cars play Grand Theft Auto. That's right, they do. Self-driving cars play Grand Theft Auto. Why? To learn how to drive better. That's right. And so should you. Seriously. Tonight is another Fadernight with Jon Rappoport and his No More Fake Newsroom Live. The call-in numbers, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. It's open lines all night long. There is nothing like a Thursday here on Fade to Black. Back-to-back phone calls from all around the world. Squeezing in all of this conversation is my favorite thing to do. Why? It's Thursday, and there's only one thing to do on a Thursday, and that's hang out with all of you and this guy, Ronnie McMullen from Life Change Tea. Ronnie, good evening, man. How are you?
Good. What do you say, Jimmy?
Hey, it's all on you, Ronnie. Hey, Ronnie. Ronnie, do you play Grand Theft Auto?
No, I don't think I have. I've played some car games because I like them, but no, never Grand Theft Auto.
Well, you would be a better driver. You would be a safer driver.
Yeah, I'm already a safe driver.
Have you ever played Gran Turismo PlayStation?
Yes.
Amazing game, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I did the whole thing. I got the wheel, I got the pedals, right? You know, I got the shifter. I got the whole gaming setup, and I plowed through Gran Turismo, like 1, 2, and 3 with that setup before I gave it up, and didn't give up the game. I gave up the setup. It was just too much, but nonetheless, I would go and get in my car, and what it would teach you back then. I was driving like. I had a BMW 325, right? Like a 1998 325. And so I would take what I would experience in Gran Turismo, how I would take turns and how I would accelerate out and where I would brake and at the apexes. And I went out and tore up Sherman Oaks, man. It was just weird how it does do that. And then I went through all the NASCAR games, right? Again, the same thing. And I'm serious. I could drive Daytona and Talladega, all of the great tracks, Bristol, and learn these tracks. I swear, I could have been a NASCAR driver. And then I found out that the NASCAR drivers are playing, right? They're playing the same video game because the same bumps in the tracks and the same things that are there. You play the video game, a couple of weeks before or in the off season, right? And you stay on top of your game. You're not listening.
Wow.
You're not listening.
I am listening.
I'm telling you.
I'm going, wow.
Yeah, it was cool, man.
I'm just sitting here. Technology's taken us over.
Yes.
It's just incredible. I mean, there's no getting on the racetrack and just having raw talent. You're practicing. I mean, some of the best pilots are flying those little, what do you call them, where they see people's backyard.
Yeah.
It's like crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. I watched, it was an amazing documentary, by the way, on the creator of Gran Turismo. His name escapes me right now. But great documentary. And as they were going through the documentary, especially in the later stages of Gran Turismo, the Grand Prix, the drivers are playing Gran Turismo. They've got the full rig, racing seats, and they go and they are practicing on these tracks because Gran Turismo was so realistic. You know, for them, reaction times, braking, shifting, shift points, and all of that stuff that, you know, the whole heel and toe and shifting, everything, you know, the shifters on the wheel, all of that stuff is realistic. So they would, in this documentary, they're showing all of the top guys, man, in there, and when you're as a player of the game, you're like, man, this is difficult, right? Oh yeah, Ben Trout. I remember that. Ben Trout from Bristol Motor Speedway. He just tweeted, "Heck yeah, I love the Bristol shout out." Vice president of Bristol Motor Speedway, and he just pops in. But it's true. I mean, I one of my favorite tracks to race on in the NASCAR. I did too. The NASCAR games that I did. Bristol was one of the funnest tracks, and it was really, really, really cool. So, yeah, I think I could go out to Bristol and race. I do.
There you go. There you go.
What's on your mind? How you doing? What do you think about this before we get to Ancient Life Oil? And I want to talk about the tea this week. We just, over at the house, it was funny. Rita goes, okay, now don't touch that. That's Life Change tea. I haven't diluted it yet. But
it's sacred.
We're always brewing, and we just brewed right before the show. Before we get to that, what do you think about this Kim Jong-un, Donald Trump summit that's about to go down?
I don't know, because everything is weird. I mean, there's a weird energy in the air. I mean, I don't know. All my senses are off. It's kind of, maybe I need to drink more tea. I drank some tonight, but I'm telling you, there's some weird stuff going on. So I don't know. I wouldn't trust Kim Jong as far as I could throw him. And you know how far I could throw him, not very far.
Right.
So,
right.
I don't know. And Trump, you know, he plays all the sides. I mean, everybody hates him that's, you know, dealing with the Congress or anybody else. They all can't stand him. So he doesn't have a chance. So he's going to have to pull some real rabbits out of his hat.
And do you think this is a question that's going to go on not only on tonight's show, but in the days and weeks ahead? Do you think it's actually going to happen, the meeting?
I don't know.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Don't know.
I mean, it's great talk right now, right? It's great talk.
I mean, nobody really knows who's in control here. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just really weird. It's really weird, and for me, Ronnie, the news broke so fast, and Trump accepted so quick. It was just like, now I like that about Trump, right? He didn't have to go and meet with his advisors and bring in and have it. No, he was just like, okay, right, okay, tell him yes, right? It was just like, wow. I mean, the Pentagon didn't know about it, the Senate, the Congress, the rest of the White House. Nobody knew. Nobody knew. The message was delivered, and it was just like yes, and no consulting. And I kind of like that about the guy. I do
too. I do too. You can, unless they're playing the big video game, but it looks like no one tells Trump what to do, and I like that.
Well, I don't do politics on this show, right? I don't do it. But the way that this is going down, now I'm in wait and see mode. I'm just in wait and see mode. I don't know. We'll be talking about it all night on the show. So anyway, we started to talk about Life Change Tea, and we just started brewing more. I got to tell you, Ronnie, what it does to me personally, and what you say it does, it's two different things. It's two different things.
Right.
I think I feel. And I don't think it's not because of caffeine or some other chemical, but I feel alert after I drink it. I feel better. My thirst is quenched. That's something else that happens with it. I want to drink a second cup, and I know that I shouldn't, so I don't, but it tastes that good. There's all of that.
No, you could. You just might have some, other issues go on.
Yeah, I'm hip because I did that mistake once. But there is something going on. So when you have this radical thing that happens in your body inside of you, What is Life Change Tea doing?
Cleaning your colon, cleaning everything that gets stuck in there from the foods you eat. You know, if somebody is on a diet a Western diet where they're eating, you know, meat and dairy and eggs and all that stuff, that's fine. You really need my tea. If you're say vegan or you're vegetarian or something like that, you still need the tea, but probably less tea because you got good stuff moving through you. So it's pretty cool. But I don't want to switch subjects. My tea is great, but I'm really excited about just a couple minutes telling everybody about what I'm doing about sponsoring somebody in the Mint 400.
Oh, okay. You want to talk sports?
I mean, we're talking about driving Turismo. I'm going,
right.
Hey, guess what?
Right.
There is a dune buggy in the Mint 400 that Get the Tea is sponsoring.
So to be clear here, you are now a racing team sponsor.
I always have cars in my background, but when I saw this, I mean, literally, I was in Phoenix, Arizona, and this big. I'll cut my language here, but this big dune buggy pulls up next to me on a trailer. And I go, wow, that's a cool buggy. Wow. And I looked over, and of course, my last name is McMullen. And I looked at it, and it said Kevin McMullen Racing. And I said, this guy's got my last name. He's got to be a winner. So I called him, and I said, hey, you looking for any sponsors? He goes, well, as a matter of fact, I am. I said, well, that's great. Let's talk. So we had a meeting. Turns out his son is the new up-and-coming driver. He's 17 years old. He's a winner. He's been racing since he was, are you ready? 5. And so now Get the Tea is on the side of this big, cool dune buggy, which they race about once a month, but they're on the Mint 400 this weekend. So I don't know if there's going to be any ABC coverage of the race at all, but you can look for Get the Tea sitting right on the actual buggy. That to me is just exciting. I had to get that in there.
I want pictures.
Oh, I'm moving on pictures. I just got a little one today. Of course, you know me, Jimmy. I'm not a technological guy, so I still got my flip phone.
Right.
And when a picture comes in on the flip phone from a text,
Ronnie, those are excuses. You now are a racing team sponsor. I want the pictures of you with the racing team standing next. These are what the racing team is obligated to do for you. And I need to brag about it. I can't brag about it with the flip phone.
Well, I'm going to do it. But guess what? He's going to give me, I sound like a little 3-year-old. He's going to give me a ride in the buggy. And do you know what the average speed is for this buggy on a race?
It doesn't matter if you're not going to videotape it with a smartphone. and see, the thing is,
actually, we're going to have helicopter views of the buggy. It averages 100 miles an hour.
Okay. Is it going to be videotaped?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I swear, Ronnie.
By
I swear
helicopter.
I will drive to Phoenix. I will drive to Phoenix. See, this is the deal.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Was meet in his garage with his buggy, and he can take us for that'd be cool.
Well, it's one of the coolest things. I think everybody would love. I'm talking about men that. We're all into
the women
racing.
are into it too.
But
they're into it. In fact, one of the co-drivers is a female.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to sponsor a racing team. That's a dream, man. That's a dream for everybody. And so you've pulled this off, and right now it's just a fish tale. It's a fish story. You don't have the photos to back this up because it's really cool. But right now it's just a story,
It is
Ronnie.
really cool.
A flip phone.
It's a small sponsorship. I wish I could say, the buggy's wrapped or whatever. It's a small sponsorship, but just to be a part of him racing, and he's a winner. Actually, Connor's won many, so their whole wall inside of their shop is nothing but trophies. So it's really cool.
I bet you Connor has got a smartphone. I'm just saying.
Connor probably was brought up on a smartphone.
So why can't Connor go out and take a picture of it and email it to me during the show tonight? As a matter of fact, after you get off this segment, you're going to call Connor, have him take a picture, give him my email address, and I'll have it out during the show tonight. See, that's what I
would
will
be
do
cool.
for
The
you.
only thing is they're traveling.
Oh,
They're
you've got
traveling
one
to
excuse
place.
after another. Tell them to pull over.
All I know is it's cool, and I love the new sticker that goes on, and actually I'm having them made, so pretty soon here, within probably a couple of weeks, when people get the tee, they're going to get a decal that has the same decal that goes on the buggy.
Yeah,
so that's kind of cool.
Send me that. I'll put it on Rita's car. I'll put it right on her door.
There you go. I said, and you know what the line is? We've got two lines that are coming. One says, make your own energy drink. And then the other one's going to say, it's going to say the tea that makes you go.
Yeah, there you go. Well, I mean, congratulations on that. That's a very, very big deal. And it's the Mint 400, and the race is this weekend?
This weekend.
Wow, that's incredible. And are you going? You're a race sponsor. So don't you get one of those sponsor tents next to the pits?
We're working on it. I mean, we just started. I mean, literally, we kind of sealed this deal about 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, he had to kind of go in fast mode to get the sponsorship, the decal on the side of the buggy. So it's in the works. I mean, I'm sponsoring him for the year. If everything goes right, for the whole year. And I really, it's kind of exciting because in the 80s, I was into Supercross. And, Jeff Ward, the days of Jeff Ward and Ricky Johnson, all you motocross heads out there, you know what I'm talking about. Well, now they're racing trucks and buggies. So they kind of hang out in the same crowd. So it's kind of fun because I'm kind of getting that whole retro thing going. And yet I'm sponsoring this kid that's probably the up and coming racer. I mean, he's good at what he does. I couldn't drive that buggy 100 miles an hour over that terrain.
No, that's crazy talk.
He doesn't crash. He's excellent. So.
Yeah.
His dad's a racer, and his dad builds buggies. So, I mean, it's a win-win situation.
What do you have? We've got 1 minute left here, Ronnie. What do you have for the faders this month?
You know what? We just came out with Big Al, which is the Allison. A lot of people love my Allison because, from blood issues to keeping good, all that kind of stuff, and not getting sick. It's all wonderful. But anyway, we got the Big Al. And it's not now a 4-month supply. You can get the 2-month supply still, but you save in more money if you buy the 4-month supply. So it's sitting right on the front page on the specials. And you just roll down there. And, of course, if you mention Fader, guess what? You get free shipping no matter what you buy. That's
what I'm talking about. Ronnie, thank you so much. And the last tweet that just came in 22 seconds ago, how can you market your fabulous tea with a flippin' flip phone? I'm just saying, Ronnie. I'm just saying.
I love that person. Whoever did that, you are on target.
Yeah, there you go. Ronnie, thank you so much, my friend. Be safe out there, and good luck with the race this weekend. Keep us posted.
All right. Thanks so much, Jimmy.
Yeah, thank you, Ronnie. Ronnie McMullen, Life Change Tea. All you got to do, lifechangetea.com. The banners are over at jimmychurchradio.com. The promo code is FADER, F-A-D-E-R. You're going to get free shipping on no matter what you order. That's what Ronnie just said. You're a fade or not, you know somebody. That's what I'm talking about. Don't forget about Ancient Life Oil. I'll be right back with the one and only Jon Rappoport. I'll be right back.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station station that talks the net. KGRA Radio.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Yes, Rivermoon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from Rivermoon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Natural Health Solutions with Chris and Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
Great, Chris.
Now, you're the CEO of GetTheTea.com, right?
Yes, I am.
What is GetTheTea.com? I mean, is this tea you buy in a store?
Well, no, it's not. Life Change Tea is just that, life-changing. Life Change Tea is an herbal tea that gently cleanses your body from intruders.
What do you mean by intruders?
Well, intruders are toxins, chemicals, GMOs, heavy metals, and more. They're in our food, in our water, in our air we breathe.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
And Life Change Tea will help you with removing these, as you say, intruders?
That's right, Chris.
Are there side effects with this tea?
Well, you might lose a little weight. When you clean your colon, you lose weight, you feel better, and you have more energy.
Wow. Ronnie, where can people purchase Life Change Tea?
Oh, that's easy. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
Ronnie, I want to thank you for being on the show. People, don't forget, GetTheTea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA. The Planet. Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at KGRAradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. KGRAradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
And now, coming to you from the No More Fake Newsroom in deep space, which is the space that we suspect to be true, that the world as it is fed to us every day by the Ministry of Truth is a lie, a false reality, a movie projected on the screen of our subconscious. This, however, is the breakout. All the screens crash, they all go down, and we see the light of day. A new day. No more robots. No more androids. It's the No More Fake Newsroom with Jon Rappoport. Take it away, John.
Thank you, Jimmy. Thank you. Wow. We're back again with more news, folks. Where do we begin? I want to begin, and I'm taking a chance here, okay? I want to begin with the stock market. I want to talk a little bit about it. Trump figures into this, Goldman Sachs figures into this, all presidents figure into this, the economy. I'm going to try to break this down for you. It's one of these huge stories. You know, some stories, the first time you try it on people, they don't get it. You try it again. By the 10th or 15th or 20th time, they begin to come around. So I'm going to try it from many angles before I'm done. And here's another one. What do you think the stock market in America has to do with the overall economy? I mean, the health or sickness of the overall economy. Well, if you follow the newspapers and you listen to the people on TV who give you the financial news, if you listen to almost everybody, they'll say that the two things are inextricably connected, and one depends on the other, and the other depends on the first, and so on and so forth, and bop, 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 bop. Stock market falls, Dow Industrials fall, economy slumps, or economy's in terrible shape, or whatever. Right? I mean, isn't that what we've all been taught to believe? That one, the stock market, tells you how the overall economy is doing. Right? Well, I'm here to tell you that this is a gigantic hoax and a lie that's been perpetrated for a very long time, and there's a lot of people in on it, but most of them believe the lie. That always happens in a conspiracy. Most of the people that go along with the conspiracy, they're not part of the conspiracy. They believe in the lie. The stock market is a gigantic Vegas casino. Okay? That's what it is. People bet. They bet on the price of the stock of a company or many companies. Is it going to go up or is it going to go down? You can bet either way in the stock market. If you think the stock is going to go down, you do what's called sell short. And if you think it's going to go up, you do what's called betting long. It's a casino, okay? Now, it's true that when a privately held company goes public and starts to sell shares of stock, in the initial public offering, or IPO as it's called, there's a limited time period where the price of the stock, if it goes up, that company gets money that they can use to expand. But by and large, the overwhelming amount of trading that goes on in the stock market, buying, selling, buying, selling, buying, selling, it's all speculation. It's all a gigantic roulette wheel. It's all a Vegas casino. Has nothing to do with the condition of the overall economy, which has to do with production and so on and so forth. Buying, producing goods and selling them, producing services, selling them. Why am I telling you this? Because the stock market is rigged by insiders who can send it up or take it down. Some of those insiders work at the Federal Reserve. So let's say you control the stock market and you could send it in either direction. And there was a president in the White House that you didn't like. I'm not just talking about Trump. Could have been Obama, could have been Bush, Clinton, whatever, or a future president. You know that the overwhelming perception is that if the stock market crashes or goes down very seriously, people are going to blame the president's overall economic policies because they believe that the stock market is reflecting the nature of the overall economy. And so you don't like this president, you take the stock market down if you're an insider or a group of insiders. And it works. Even though the stock market is just a giant casino. Following me so far? Now, if you can rig the stock market and you can therefore convince 98% of the people, depending on how you rig it, that the economy, the overall economy of the country is either very healthy or very horrible, you can also torpedo or raise up high a president and his economic policies. What has Trump just done for the moment? He's put a tariff on steel and aluminum, 25% on imported steel and 10% on aluminum. Richard Nixon tried the same thing and he was kicked out of the White House. That's right. That's right. And when he was kicked out of the White House, David Rockefeller gave a speech in Europe to very concerned financial insiders and told them basically everything is back on track. Don't worry about it. Well, he was right, because Gerald Ford was now the president, and Ford had picked David Rockefeller's brother, Nelson, to be the vice president. Everything was back on track. Now, Trump, one of his chief economic advisors, right near the top, was, until a few days ago, Gary Cohn. Who is Gary Cohn? He's the former CEO and president of Goldman Sachs, an investment bank, one of the biggest in the world, a real insider. And I've been writing for quite some time now, and even mentioning on this show, the art of the deal. Why did Trump surround himself with Goldman Sachs people? Because they could do something for him. They could keep the stock market up. That's right. Every president needs to do that, because every president knows that the perception is that as the stock market goes, so goes the perception of how the overall economy is doing. And who gets the blame for what seems to be bad overall economy? The president. In Trump's case, he made his deal with Goldman Sachs. Why did Gary Cohn resign? Because Trump went against the rules of the game. Maybe there's more to come. Trump laid on tariffs, which is anti-globalist, in the most serious way possible, because globalism is all about letting megacorporations run the world. And the one thing that megacorporations want to do is to be able to set up their factories anywhere in the world, slave wages, no environmental protections, produce goods for a fraction of what they would cost if they produced them in the United States, and then they want to export them back, the finished products, to the U.S. with no tariffs. Because what do tariffs do? They level the playing field. They make steel producers and aluminum producers in the U.S. strong, because now domestic producers of steel and aluminum can sell those products here in the U.S. at virtually the same price, or even lower than those mega corporations who set up steel and aluminum in foreign places. You with me? Some of you will be, some of you won't be. That's the way it is when you break a perception. When you say, guess what? The virus that they say causes the disease doesn't even exist. You've got to keep hammering away at that story from many different angles before some people begin to see the light. Well, this is that kind of story. This is that kind of digging down deep into the roots of perception to find the truth and the lie. It's not easy to make these leaps when everybody has been mind controlled and trained to believe that as the stock market goes, so goes the economy. The people who really make money off of the stock market are the insiders. They make gigantic sums going up and coming down. It's a casino, folks, a vast casino that more or less exists in a vacuum and has nothing to do with anything but itself, just like a Vegas casino does. Are you going to say that the casino at the Bel Air or the Wynn, the fate of that casino has something to do in a very, very large way with the health or the sickness of the U.S. economy? Of course not. Well, neither should you say that about the stock market. But the insiders who are globalists can control a president, no matter who he is, beyond the power of the president. And they could, if they want to, take the stock market down right now, really, really down. Not just the little flickers of down that you've been seeing. We don't know exactly what's going to happen or what compromises Trump is going to make. He's already seemingly said that Canada and Mexico are exempt from any kind of tariffs when they send goods into the U.S. And if so, Goldman Sachs might say, okay, Don, okay, you're still good. We'll see. But keep what I'm saying in mind. Think about it. Look into it yourself. Research it. You've got wall-to-wall pundits on television. You've got financial, economic, academics. You've got everybody who has the slightest taint or hint of globalism about them, who will tell you that indeed, as the stock market goes, that's the sign of how the economy is doing, and that's laid at the door of the president. This is a gigantic story. Number 2, last week I talked about genetically engineered humans. That was a big one. A lot of people started giving that a lot of thought. So I've got an article to read to you from Japan News, a current article, March. Scientists develop pigs for transplants, meaning human transplants. This is just unbelievable. A team of scientists, I'm quoting the story, says it has created a pig that can be used in transplantations in humans. According to the team, researchers from Meiji University and Kyoto Prefectural University, the animal is the first to be developed for transplantation based on national guidelines in which animal organs and cells are transplanted into humans. Now, so far, we don't exactly know what they're talking about because it's so wild, but we will. Team will present its findings at a forum, blah, 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 blah. Now we discover here, down further in the story, this is not the first time. More than 200 pig-to-human xenotransplantations have been conducted in New Zealand, Russia, and other countries in response to a shortage of organs for transplant. Here we go. As pig organs are functionally similar to those of humans. No such xenotransplantations have been conducted in Japan. So what they're talking about is actually transplanting pig organs in these special pigs into humans. That is what they are talking about. The guidelines, they're talking about Japan, require pigs to be raised in a clean, isolated environment, tested for 40 different kinds of viruses to prevent infections and ensure the safety of humans. The scientists raised the miniature pigs in pathogen-free conditions. They first removed and disinfected the uteruses of 3 pregnant pigs before extracting 17 newborn piglets. The piglets were fed sterile artificial milk and raised for 3 weeks. The final result yielded pigs that each weighed about 1.8 kilograms and were suitable for transplantation. Now, of course, they're not going to transplant the pigs into humans. They're going to take organs from these pigs. Now, here's the key sentence. Tests thus far have only revealed the presence of a retrovirus that is harmless to pigs, but said to potentially cause unknown diseases in humans. In other words, they're saying there is a retrovirus, a type of virus that they don't seem to be able to remove from the pigs before they take out pig organs and put them into humans. However, there have been no reports of pig-to-human retroviral infections in transplants conducted overseas, etc. The National Center for Global Health and Medicine in Tokyo and other institutions plan to begin clinical studies within 3 to 5 years in which pig pancreatic cells will be transplanted to diabetic patients. That's humans. We're talking about pig cells, not re-engineered pig cells that somehow make them human cells, but pig cells. The cells will be encased in special capsules to prevent rejection by the patient. The research team is considering supplying the first batch of pigs to the institution. Quote, going forward, we would like to manipulate the genes of pigs so they generate less rejection in patients, end quote, said Professor Hiroshi Nagashima, a member of the research team. End quote, end of story. How do you like them apples? Now there's a graphic here in the article, next to the article, which again, www.thejapannews.com. That's the website, and the article is Scientists Develop Pigs for Transplants. And here in the graphic, we have the steps. Remove uterus from pregnant pig just before delivery and disinfect. Take newborn piglets out of uterus in pathogen-free room raised with sterile artificial milk. Raise piglets for 3 weeks. Conduct virus tests on pancreas, liver, kidneys, other organs. And then in the future, transplant pig organs, cells, into patients, meaning humans. They say in the future, but again, from the article, quote, more than 200 pig-to-human xenotransplantations have been conducted in New Zealand, Russia, and other countries in response to a shortage of organs for transplant, meaning into humans, as pig organs are functionally similar to those of humans. So, we are looking right now, I mean, it's already happened more than 200 times, and now in Japan, they're saying 3 to 5 years, they'll be starting clinical trials for humans. Pig organs into humans. What do you think? Would you like to have a pig organ inside you? Jimmy, what do you think?
I eat a lot of bacon, John. I probably already do. You know, that is...
You're okay then.
You know, that is... You've done a lot of, disturbing things on the show, right? But I that's pretty frightening. But I was thinking, and Rita and I were, texting back and forth. Didn't they transplant? Weren't they using pig hearts at one point? Or didn't they try to?
I don't know.
Yeah, my memory.
Hearts, right?
Yeah, my memory says valves and hearts, but it didn't work. But I think that they tried it. I don't think that there's a human walking around with a pig heart today. But my memory says something about that, which goes back to your point. The organs are very, very, very similar. So how are you with that? It's a disturbing thought, right?
Not good at all.
Now,
I mean, if somebody says, okay, we're going to give you a pig kidney.
Or intestine, or, yeah, right.
I'm going to say, no, thanks.
You would rather go 6 feet under or go through dialysis instead of taking the chance?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Here's a liver from a pig. Here's a pancreas from a pig. Here's a kidney from a pig.
Right. I know. Now, I've got 2 minutes. Let's suppose something. Pancreatic cancer is the one cancer that a doctor will tell you that's the one they don't want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And you're diagnosed with that, and that's it. You are terminal. So why not take a chance? If you're terminal and you can, I don't know.
Okay, well, this is a great point you bring up, because this is how they do it, see?
Right.
In other words, they got you.
Right.
They got you.
Right.
They're saying, okay, look, you're going to die in 6 weeks.
Right.
Now, we have a beautiful pancreas waiting for you. The only, thing is it comes from a pig.
Right.
They got you.
And
this is how they this is how they introduce it into society.
Right. I got to say, at that point, I'm atrophied. I'm all, I've been bedridden. I'm nasty. And I'm looking at my family and I'm thinking, all right, if it gives me another 6 months or a year or 5 years, or it might work at that point.
Yeah. And then suppose it does. Okay.
Right.
So you now become famous, because you've now lived 6 months further than they thought you could with pancreatic cancer, right?
Right.
And so do a dozen other people somewhere around the world. Okay, so now this becomes the gateway for introducing pig organs for all sorts of situations that are far less drastic than pancreatic cancer. This is how they make the wedge into, genetically, I don't even know if you want to call it genetically. I mean, it's just animal to human transfers,
right,
in all sorts of situations.
You know what market would collapse? Bacon. You're right, because at that point,
yeah, you might find people suddenly saying, "Look, we'll take it as a surgery, but we don't want to eat it anymore."
Right. That's what I'm saying. And if I've got a pig intestine in me, right, am I going to eat bacon? Right? I'm just saying a ham sandwich is out of the question.
I'll have the eggs without the bacon.
I'll have the eggs without the bacon. Thank you very much. Is that cooked in bacon fat? So
right.
I and I'm not making a joke here. Imagine. So you're sitting, I've got to go to commercial break in 30 seconds. You're sitting with friends, right? And you've got a pig liver inside of you. Life is good. And then you accidentally eat something with bacon in it. And then you just throw up. Because psychologically, right? That your body's now rejecting it because it would be like the mom eating the baby.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's why you can't eat chicken and eggs together. I will never have you know what? I cannot eat a chicken chili omelet. You can't do that. Right. Hey, John, thank you for twisting up the evening, my friend. You're the best, man.
You're entirely welcome, Jimmy.
And have a great weekend. We'll see you next week on the show.
Okay, man.
Thank you so much. Jon Rappoport, everybody. Did he just mess up your diet? He messed up mine. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. It's Thursday night. It is Fadernight. Rita just said, chickens eat eggs. They do not. Is that true? It's Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Open lines for the rest of the night. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. Let's do this, man.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go back, Lee Tappy.
Hello, I'm Katie, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church, on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Yes. We are of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly Ancient Life Oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go back, Lee Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Here we go. This is Fade to Black. It's Thursday night. It's Fader night. Open lines all night long. This next segment of the show is proudly brought to you by the one and only Life Change Tea. That's right, Life Change Tea. Just go to the banners over at jimmychurchradio.com. Click, use the promo code FADER, F-A-D-E-R. You've got to get on the Life Change Tea program. It's life-changing. It's no joke. All of the products that they do over there. I just took G.I. Joy right now in the studio. Here it is right here. And I would show you on the bunker cam. But bunker cam, I'd stopped it tonight. I just stopped it. It's the first night I haven't had the bunker cam blue light in my face in probably a year. Pretty cool. So there you go. I get to be myself tonight. Nobody can see me. How cool is that? All right. Sorry about that, but all right. 323-825-5045. If you're on hold, stay right there. 323-275-9695. Lots to talk about. The breaking news today, of course. Kim Jong-un is going to sit down and have a face-to-face with Donald Trump, and this is going to go down by May. So I guess they're saying April. Maybe it's in May. They're going to have to keep all of this secret. Where are they going to meet? What are they going to talk about? Deal-making. I've got my thoughts. I need to hear all of yours tonight. It is just a mind-boggling, shocking, amazing turn of events going down. I have, oh man, my mind is just, it's swimming. And also, to that end, Rita and I, over the last week or so, we went through a series of meetings and a bunch of stuff, and we've got some big things that are about to launch. And we're going to be talking about those over the weeks ahead, but it is some very exciting things. And our lives are so busy, and it's just like, let's just make it a little more complicated and a little more busy. And we did just that this week. And then this happens today, and my brain is just, it's Rita said to me before the show, she goes, what's going on? I said, man, my brain, it's full. My brain is full. Reset the bunker cam again to see if it's fixed the issue. I need screenshots. I've reset it 1,000,000 times. Oh, you really want me? You know what? I'm going to do this for you, Frankie Four Fingers. Okay? Watch. Okay? I'm just going to do this just for grins. I'm going to reset. Okay? I'll try it one more time. I just don't want to be bogged down. I want to do the show tonight. I don't need to trip on this stuff. Okay? So there you go. It's streaming again. If it's working, it's working. If it's not, it's not. Rita, let me know in text if the bunker cam is up and running. Okay? 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Let's go straight to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Yeah, hi, Jimmy. This is Cliff.
Hi, Cliff. How are you? First up tonight.
Great. Hey, thanks a lot for taking my call. Hey, when I was listening to Mr. Rappoport, I had not an idea, just a thought popped into my mind. Pigs don't really live that long. So let's just say I'm 25 and I need a new whatever I need from a pig. How long would it last? Would the pig's part get my longevity, a natural lifespan, or would it have theirs?
Cliff, you're twisted, man. You're twisted.
Well, hey.
Okay, well, so what about the opposite? What about the opposite? What would happen?
A transplant from me?
Yeah. What if a pig, was a little ill, and somebody went and said, we can save your life. We got this guy, Cliff. He's going to give up one of his kidneys. Right? Okay.
I hope he's got plenty of money.
Right? And then what if the pig lives to be 99? Right?
Oh, my God. The pig is famous.
Yeah, the pig is famous. But you wouldn't eat bacon anymore. So, there you go.
Well, that's the only thing that you and I disagree with. I would eat all the ham and bacon. I don't care what's inside of it as long as it works.
Well, like I said, I think something would trigger in your brain. Some chemicals would kick off in that it would almost be like you were carnivorous all of a sudden, right? I don't know. I don't know. It's just it's a weird thought. Cliff, thank you so much for that, and you're absolutely right. And I love the twisted thoughts, man.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too, Cliff. Thank you so much. Great phone call right there. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, Jimmy. How you doing, man? It's Jose.
Hey, Jose. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there in East City.
Yeah.
But I just wanted to mention I just finished listening to Rappoport and to your previous caller, and I'm not sure if you know this, but I'm a surgical tech. That's my gig.
Right.
A surgical first assistant. And to answer the last caller's question there, so we use mitral valves from pigs. We've been doing that forever. There's a reason why we use those. It depends on the patient and the type of medication they're taking. If they're taking, if they cannot tolerate certain blood thinners, then a mitral valve from a pig is more conducive for them, you know, as opposed to a mechanical mitral valve.
I'm listening. Keep going. You're the smart guy. I'm absorbing this.
Okay, so a pig valve will last 15 to 20 years. And then they can go back in and just put another one in. It has nothing to do with the the blood type of the patient or nothing like that, because it's muscle.
Right.
So that's why they do that. What Jon Rappoport was saying, as far as that being used, that's been going on for years. We don't use just pigs. We use cow parts as well for certain things. We use for hemostatic agents. We use bovine, which is like a cow byproduct.
Right.
So,
right.
I'm not trying to go against what he's saying or anything like that. It's just that's been going on for a long time, and it does not surprise me that the next step would be for them to start producing, pigs, for example. That is, it's a very animal that produces and reproduces very quickly. I mean, we consume it, and like you said, for bacon and everything else. So it would make sense for us to, the next step would be to, hey, if somebody needs a kidney and you've been on dialysis for 20 years and your option is either a pig kidney or wait for somebody to get in a horrible car accident, and hope that their blood type matches with yours so you can get their kidney, if their kidney is viable, because we also do those, then you're going to go for the pig.
Right. But you know what I mean? I don't have issues with it. I don't have it. For me personally, now let's look at it another way. With a child or something like that, what do you consider there? If it's your own child, would you be okay with that? The decision needs to be a personal one. Now, if you have to, you know what I mean? Because it's your own body.
Absolutely. I'll tell you this. When a child needs a kidney, I've done kidney transplants, hundreds. An adult kidney doesn't fit into a child.
Right.
So they go on to dialysis, It's very rare that you will get a kid with this type of disease, but, a child would not be able to tolerate that type of surgery. I've taken child kidneys, I don't want to get too, it's hard for me sometimes because I've seen, when a child gets in a horrible car accident and we take their organs, it's hard, it's tough. It's a tough, this is the kind of stuff that I block. I leave at work, But for a child in that particular situation, obviously there will be more treatments, and then probably when the child gets to adulthood, if they can get there, then maybe the child can make that decision, to make that type of call.
Right.
I'm not sure that we're quite there as far as animals and stuff, but I'm just saying that is a viable option, and it may have to happen, especially considering that we have 7.5 billion people on the planet walking around with diseases.
Right. Right.
We're not going to have that many accidents and that many people donating their organs, and not to mention half the time when we go in and we open these people that are, they donate their body, the organs are not viable because they smoke too much or they drank too much.
Right. Right.
You're not going to take a heart of a 75-year-old man and give it to a 20-year-old person.
No, of course not.
That's not going to work.
No,
it's not going to work.
No.
So I can see where that is. I can see how that they may consider, hey, this may be the next move. I'm not saying it's right, and it's an ethical issue. It's an ethical question, right?
Yeah, it totally is.
But,
it 100% is. Just on its surface, I knew you were smart. I knew you had something going on. I knew this about you.
Sir.
Yeah. I knew there was something going on with you. But it is an ethical question, one that I'm okay with. Even when I was really young and all of this talk started to go around about artificial hearts and pig valves, and they were talking about all of these different types of animal parts, and was it possible that I was okay with it. I just thought...
Yeah, the reason why it's pig is because they are anatomically the most similar to us. Like when we practice on pigs.
Right.
Because it's every instrument. I also do research when we test new instruments and new stuff. I go to a lab, to a university, and we practice on, and it's pigs because it's the thing that simulates the closest to the human tissue in the human body.
Right.
So yeah, that is why pig would be the it's either that or we go with chimps. That's not going to fly.
Jose, thank you so much.
You know what
man.
I mean?
I do, man. Thank you so much. We're going to see you in a few short months, man, right here on the West Coast.
Yeah. I've been trying to. The only thing I've been having issues getting hotels near the area. Everything is booked up. It looks like you guys have sold everything in the area. So, but we'll get there. We'll get there, man.
We'll see you. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see your lens. I'll talk to you, Jose. Thank you so much, my friend.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Jose Torres, our official photographer here at Fade to Black. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi there. My name's Steffi.
Hi.
I'm a truck driver, and I'm sitting in Thousand Palms.
Oh, no way. Right now?
Right now.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I caught the tail end of the whole pig part.
Yes. You're not driving right now. You're not driving right now, right?
No, sir.
Okay,
sir.
good.
I'm sitting still, and I had to tune in because I'm able to do that once in a while I'm those 10, 11 hours on the road.
Yeah,
but,
I love it.
Anyway, well, back in the end of 2014, I had to have an open heart surgery, and I was given the choice of a pig valve, like your med tech just said,
right?
The mitral valve or an artificial valve, and I was given the choice of either going on Warfarin, the blood thinner, forever with a mechanical valve, or getting the pig valve, not having to worry about the blood thinner, but having to replace it in 8 to 9 years.
And you said?
I had to choose the Warfarin, and I regret it now, actually.
Oh.
It's so complicated being on a blood thinner, keeping your blood as thin as it needs to be without being too thick, and like me holding a CDL. Having to drive a big truck.
Yeah, because if anything happened, right, your blood's too thin, you're a truck driver. You're out and back changing your trailer, your brake lines, or, whatever. You're inspecting your truck, and you cut yourself.
Right,
because
a small cut.
And you're done. You're done. And truck driving, see, most people, they don't understand. But truck driving is not just about going to the gas station, filling up with diesel, hopping in the back of your truck, and listening to Fade to Black for the next 10 hours. That's not the case. It can be very, very treacherous. Those yards and backing up and changing trailers and everything. Tires and things and out there in the cold. Something happened to you on blood thinners, and you're up in South Dakota in the middle of the winter. You got a problem.
Yeah, it's difficult. But
it is.
The only reason specifically I chose not to get the pig valve was because I knew I was going to have my chest cracked open again.
Mm-hmm.
That is a difficult 6 months recovery.
It is, but
I didn't want to go through it again.
Maybe they could just put a Ziploc and It's a joke.
I wish it was that easy, but I love your show, and I just wanted to throw my little 2 cents in. And I hope you have a great night. But I really have no fondness of bacon other than normal. So
just, please do me a favor. Listen to the show, love the show, hang out, do whatever. But please be safe out there. We love our truck drivers. Thank you so much.
I do, sweetie. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Great phone call right there. And I love it when somebody says CDL. CDL is a commercial driver's license. And that is so it's good in all 50 states, a CDL. It's hard to get, and you have all of the medical requirements on the backside of a CDL. You've got to go and visit doctors and get checkups. You've got to have a doctor sign off and all of the things that go along with that. And she's right about that, especially when you're holding a CDL and you take all of this stuff into consideration. But she went for the blood thinner. Very, very interesting. So, wow. Okay. Oh, man, what a crazy conversation. I want to talk about Kim Jong Fatty Fat. Kim Jong-un. Kim Fatty Fat. What a crazy development tonight that happened right before the show. Donald Trump and Kim Jong-un are going to sit down and have a summit. And, okay, I'm going to talk more about that in just a second. Let's go back to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Deb from Sacramento.
Hi, Deb. How are you?
I'm really good. I'll talk to you about, I don't know much about Kim except what I see on the news, but there's a reason I voted for Trump. He's got, I don't want to use foul language. He's gutsy, let's say that.
Right.
And I think this whole nuclear thing that they've been, saying for all this time, I think we talked about this a few months ago, and I said I felt that they were just hyping this all up to keep the world frightened for that negative energy that, so that we can't, evolve. I'm not saying the right words right now but anyway, we can't progress as quickly if they suppress us and keep us down with the negative energy. Just like the Cold War with Russia, it never went hot. I felt like this was never going to get hot either. And I think he's going to sit down with him and they're going to hash this all out and it's going to work out. There's not going to be any nuclear war. They're not that stupid.
No, I didn't ever think that there was going to be a nuclear war. Conventional war, possibly. The North Koreans have always been unpredictable. But that's also what the media feeds us. We never know the truth. I haven't been to North Korea. I don't think you have. So, we don't know really what goes on there. But this... What I, in of itself, on the surface, we've got two guys, and I said this last year, that were poking themselves in the chest. I said it, that, you know what I mean? Two puffy-chested bullies that were really quick at the mouth. Right? And so something was going to have to happen here. Now we got I think the reason why both of these guys wanted to do this and agreed to it so quickly is that they both have egos. They both want to be seen. They both want to be on the world stage. Kim Jong-un in North Korea, the best thing that they can do for North Korea is to be able to tell the North Korean people, and no matter what, is like, hey, man, we're so important that we got Donald Trump to sit down with us. That's how important we are. So that you have that side of it. Then you have the other side. It's the exact same thing for Donald Trump, right? Or insert, president here. It just happens to be Donald Trump. So that president can say, you know what? I'm sitting down. I'm going to go, this is so important. I'm going to make this happen. That we're going to go ahead and do this now. I always thought that this would have happened with any number of presidents before this. The difference being today, Deb, is that they are now they have nuclear weapons. They have them, right? Mm-hmm. So now there's a reason to sit down. Before, whether it was Bush or Clinton or Obama in the past was the threat of nuclear stuff wasn't there, so there was no reason to sit down. Now it's a bit different. So now there's a real nuclear threat on the table. So you know what? I hope something good comes of it. I really do. I hope they really have the meeting. Now
I think they will. And the thing about these men with big egos, they both want to be loved by their people. Well, what better way than to be the world's peacemakers?
Well, we'll see. Look, we're talking about a meeting. Donald Trump likes to say that he is the deal maker, right? So do we honestly think, I mean, seriously, that Donald is going to sit down with Kim Jong-un at that point and broker a deal at this meeting, and Kim Jong-un and him are going to shake hands and they're going to give up all of their nuclear weapons on a handshake? What is it that we're going to have to give up on our side? What's part of the deal? And so Donald's not going to want to give up anything. Nothing. Lift sanctions. But what? We're going to pull our military back? That ain't going to happen. We're going to stop this. No, none of that's going to happen. It can't. So we're not going to give up anything. So what is it? So now this is where I think it is. Okay, now just listen to me for a second. And the rest of the audience, listen to your Uncle Jimmy here. The reason why it is now just listen to me, okay? No matter what the media has told you, the Republican on the right, the Democrat on the left, the liberal, with the alt, they can all shut up. I'm going to tell you, this is why. Right now, the sanctions that have been in place, the new sanctions, the old sanctions, and everything else, has come to a point where, the tipping point, that his military is like weeks away from starvation and death. Death. His people are weeks away from starvation and death. There is no more money. There is no more food. There is no more nothing. And if he continues, I'm talking about weeks away, not months, not years. If he continues, there's going to be no population left. How do I know this? Let me explain. A couple of months ago, one of his elite front line guards on the DMZ deserted. That guy drove a car, a Jeep, up to the border, ran across, crashed it, right, into a ditch, opened up the door, ran, got shot in the back, continued running until he couldn't anymore, fell down, dragged across the DMZ into South Korea, where they found inside of his body 6 tapeworms. An elite forces guy, frontline, top shelf North Korean soldier, frontline guarding the DMZ to make sure that no other soldiers defect, right? That's one of the reasons. And this is and his elite forces are full of tapeworms. Malnourished, sick, picking garbage up out of the dirt and eating it, and eating tapeworms. So now think about that. That is indicative of the state of his armed forces. Now, and that's who he is feeding. The rest of the population there is starving to death. And they are on the brink of dropping dead. That's and he's looking around going, man, you know what? We keep this up. There is no North Korea. I will be the regime of nothing. And that's why he stepped back and said to himself, this nuclear thing ain't worth it. It's just not. We are in the tipping point of that when it all falls apart. How long can you live on a starvation diet? Eating grass, eating leaves, eating dirt to survive. Right? That's where it is at. There is no money. There's no way to do anything anymore. And that's it. And that's why I think he caved. He didn't blink, he caved. If we are to believe everything, and if he says, okay, all right, man, I give it up. Nuclear denuclearization, let's just give it up. I'm done. Bring in your people. Take the weapons out of here. Take it all. Take all my plutonium. Take everything. We're done. Please lift all sanctions tomorrow. Bring in the food. Right? Because that's where it's at. And
sure.
And that's my take. And with that, Deb, I blew right through a commercial. So I got to get to a commercial. Thanks for the phone call, though.
Okay, absolutely. Great take on it, Jimmy. I had no idea all that was going on.
That's my take.
For the info.
That's Uncle Jimmy bringing it. I'll talk to you, Deb. Thank you so much.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. This is Fade to Black. Open lines 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Open lines all night long. I'll be right back.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black. And last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to AncientLifeOil.com. That's AncientLifeOil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
to Black. That's right. Thursday night, Fadernight. This segment of Fade to Black is proudly brought to you by New Pharma. GNU Pharma. Click on their banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. You need to go to their site and read about the science behind New Pharma. Natural solutions to health and wellness. Their foundation is something that I take every single day. It's amazing. Promo code is F2B. F, the number 2B. 33% off of your order right now. All right, man. Talking about Kim Jong-un, talking about all of the stuff that is going on. It's an absolutely stunning turn of events today. What's causing it? I have no idea. We can speculate all day long on it, but Trump was pretty quick to say, you know what? Let's go. It's go time. I'm cool with that. Let's go to the phones. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hey, this is Megan.
Hi, Megan. How are you?
I'm good. I wanted to chat about the Kim thing and with Donald Trump, you know, and I get that you're super positive about it, and I want to be super positive about it, which is why I'm calling in. Knowing the history with North Korea, and just if we take the U.S. completely out of it and sanctions completely out of it, they have a history of being starved and penniless and having very little. So, and I know that China is kind of helping them from the back door on some things. So this meeting with Kim, I'm confused about. It can't just be fueled from the sanctions. There's got to be something else going on, because I know and the other thing I want to point out is that there's no doubt that he is making it our fault, like that they are starved and in ill health and in a terrible place. I mean, he's certainly not losing weight, so he's eating plenty. But when it comes to his people, he's never really cared about them, outwardly. And from all the reports and papers that have come out of North Korea from people who've been undercover. So I just wanted to, I'll take your response offline, I guess.
Okay. Well, thank you for the call, Megan. And that's it's an important point. The influence that is probably going on, and let me tell you why. The China part of it is very interesting, in that China has always propped up North Korea, but they agreed on these oil sanctions to cut off the oil supply. They weren't going to buy any more coal, or this was all going to be on a very limited basis. And there was some coal that was being traded off between ships, and they got busted doing that, and so forth. That this is what I think. A big part of it is that he probably picked up the phone and said, "Yo, China, I need food, I need medical supplies, I need some money, I need some oil, I need all of this now." And China said no. And I think that has a big part of it. And he probably went to Russia, and Russia said no. We're talking about a country that is threatening the use of nuclear weapons, and you can't support that. And so the rhetoric and the bluster and everything that was before, when you still had a certain amount of trade going on, you had a certain amount of imports and exports that were happening, and all of that, all of the money flow is just stopped, and resources and everything else. You can't eat coal, right? And so that's I'm telling you, I think they just ran out. And you can only, you have your backup, you have your reserves of food and oil and medicines and everything and money, and you can only run that for so long. Look, I'll give you an example, one that I'll give it to you directly. Let's say you're doing good, everything is fine. You're not living necessarily paycheck to paycheck, but that you're able to pay your bills every month on time. You've got $5,000 in your savings account. You got $1,000 in your checking account, and every couple of weeks you deposit your money and you make your payments. You buy your food. You buy your clothes. You go out. You do your things, and you run through a month, and you've got maybe $1,200 in your checking account. Now you've got $5,100 in your savings account, and you go through another month, and everything's good, right? All right, you're making your car payment, and everything is good, and then you get fired, right? You lose your job. Company goes out of business. Whatever it is, and now you are on unemployment, which is half of what you were making. How long do you survive like that? And you're out there trying to get a job, and you're not, and suddenly, in like 1 month, 2 months, you're broke. And now this third month that is coming up, fourth month, maybe you borrowed money from a family member. Fourth month is coming up, and all of your accounts are now dry, and you can't make that car payment. You can't make your house payment, your rent, and you push that out for a month. You tell your landlord, okay, yeah, well, I'm good next month. And you talk your car company, whatever, and you push things out. You got to eat. You got to do what you can. You're paying the electric bill because you want your electricity on. And then everything. Think about this. And now you stretch things and you push it. But at the end of it all, it's going to run out. And then one day you wake up and that's it. You're tapped out. You have nowhere, you have nothing, and that happens. But that's what's going on with North Korea. They're tapped out. There's just no place left to go. You can't borrow money, and your ships aren't allowed to go and pull into any ports. You don't have anything to put on those ships to get out and go try to sell. You've already robbed all the Bitcoin exchanges you can. I'm just saying that's what I think. That it's just you wake up one day and there's nothing left. There's no future. That's what I think. That's honestly what I think has gone on. When we go back and we look at what this meeting could entail in a normal day, where there's other things going on, where there's a position of influence on Kim Jong-un's part, the only bargaining chip he has got left is giving up his nuclear program. There's nothing else left. There's nothing for him to there's nothing. Right? So what is it that we have to give up? We don't have to give up anything. I think it's an easy deal for Donald to make. I really do. Just going to go, we'll lift some sanctions. You give up your stuff. How much can we start rolling trucks in tomorrow and start picking up all of your nuclear materials? Can we drive those missiles out of North Korea into South Korea? Can we start cutting them apart? Can we start doing that? If we can start doing that tomorrow, dude, we'll fly in food. And that's where I'm coming from right now. Now, okay, so now putting all of that on the table. Oh, shoot. Let me do this. If you're on hold, stay right there. 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Sorry about that. When I get going, I can't do everything all at the same time. Is this, if it all was in a normal day, then we have logistics and we have things and we have planning to do, and we've got to bring in the experts and we've got to get a timetable and we've got to figure all of this out. I don't think it's that kind of party right now. I think it's really desperate times. This isn't happening in 6 months. This is happening in 6 weeks. You know, so it's my opinion. It's just my opinion that the only thing left on the table is just that. And the deal that could be struck, normally I would say they're not going to do anything here. They're going to go in and go, okay, we agree that you're going to denuclearize, and here's the timetable. I'm going to fly back to Washington. I'm going to discuss things with everybody. Everything stays in place right now, and we'll talk in a couple of weeks. The people are going to start dying. So no, I don't think it's like that. I think that there's a possibility here that a deal could be struck, and it's imminent. It's imminent. It could happen just like that, like some instantaneous situation. Everybody comes away a winner. Kim Jong-un feeds his people. He strikes a deal with the enemy. Now, that leaves me with something else I got to mention here, and that is the story that has been fed to the North Korean people since birth. And before I get to that, I wanted to mention, Rita pointed out to me that today is a kind of a special day. Today is the 8th day of March in 2018. Today is March 8th of 2018, and today is show number 818. Yeah, isn't that kind of weird? That's a lot of 8s and 1s all to happen at the same time. So today is a special day, and today's a special show, and isn't that cool? Right? I should have mentioned it last hour at 8:18, but unfortunately she didn't let me know until it was after that. But nonetheless, it would have been cool, huh? 8:18. It's now 8:18. Today is 8. 2018 show is 8:18. Pretty cool. Okay, so anyway, I want to get that out of the way. Now let's talk about the indoctrination of the North Korean people from birth. You know, about what the United States is about, and the war that happened between North and South Korea and the United States, and the Pueblo, and all of the other stuff that has happened between the two countries, and the DMZ, and what the United States represents. And the only way to protect themselves from us is to, the goal was nuclear weapons. It's written in to their law in North Korea. It's part of it. So when you are taught everything that they are taught from birth is part of their lives, which goes back to Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-il, and being born to gods on the top of a mountain, and that's this is they are gods, and the family, and how the Korean people support all of this, and that if they are taught that, they don't know any different, and really don't. So when we look at things like Cuba or China or Russia or any other countries around the world that try to control the minds of their people and teach them certain things in schools, okay, it's tended to fall apart. But it didn't in South Korea. You can't even talk about China in the same terms these days. China is a capitalistic country, right? It's a free market system over there. It is free willy-nilly when it comes to millionaires and billionaires and construction and things and companies and everything else, right? And Janine just said, what about all the lies that we are fed from birth? Yeah, exactly. But you know what? At least here, we have the ability to go and try to figure that out. Okay, that's the most important thing. We have that freedom. We have the internet. We have libraries. We have the ability to talk to our neighbors. We have the ability to, in this country, to drive from one side of it to the other across state borders and not, and freedom of travel and communication and questioning. So there's a big difference there. So lies, sure, but we have the ability to go investigate and figure it out. And if we do figure it out, we can broadcast it. So no, there's a big difference, Janine. And not only that, and I think that's a great point, that this show exists. This show couldn't exist in South or North Korea. Couldn't exist in a lot of countries around the world, but it exists here. Okay, so now, how is he going to spin this to the rest of North Korea? One of their goals is to have unification between the North and the South. How this is what I really I'm fascinated with. If the North and the South were unified, and everybody in North Korea that has been taught what they have been taught, and they flood into Seoul, South Korea, and experience that freedom of travel, freedom of food, freedom of money, freedom of jobs, freedom of everything, to be able to walk down a street and do whatever you want in each direction, right? And the internet, television, Hollywood, movies, books, magazines, and everything that they have been taught, right? Wait a minute. You mean we didn't win that war? Whatever. How are you going to be able to handle that spin? I don't know how you're going to be able to do that. Unification between the North and the South sounds great on paper, but you're going to have a lot of very confused children and adults that believe this because it's all they've been taught. How do you know the difference? I don't know how that gets overcome. Having even if this is the truth, even if you had regime change, right? You had regime change. Whatever happens, he gets sick and dies or whatever, or maybe there's a war, or North Korea sends in South Korea sends in their elite execution team and takes them out, and you have a regime change. What do you do with everybody there that is going to be completely confused? And you bring it down, you install a new economy, and you rip down the DMZ, and what? How do you handle that? What was the? I was just trying to think of the movie with what's her name, that's raised in the jungle or in the forest, and you bring her on, and you try to introduce somebody like that into society. How do you do that? So that's a really big deal. I mean, that is something that some very smart people have to sit around and talk about and contemplate and try to fix that. I don't know how you overcome that. There's a really good series on Vice, where the president of Vice, the CEO, the founder of Vice, goes to North Korea, and it's like it's probably 4 or 6 episodes long. It's pretty amazing video series, documentary. It's probably about 6 or 8 years old now. But he goes, and pretty fascinating. But there is one thing for me that sticks out in the series. And he's on a bus. He's not a bus, a van or whatever. And he stops on the side of the road to this roadside restaurant tourist thing. I think there's a little museum there or something. It's a 4-story building. Goes in, a bar, and it's empty. Right? There's nobody there. There's a woman there that works, and she is alone. She's wearing like a pink dress. She's the bartender. She does this. She does that. She's selling stuff at the souvenir stand. She's like, like the guard of this 4-story building. I believe she was alone. Maybe there was other, but anyway. So she plays ping pong with him. She plays pool with him. They drink, they eat, and the fascinating thing is she has no clue. That is her isolated little world. She doesn't have news. She doesn't have contact with the outside world. She's out in the middle of North Korea and lives at this tourist stop thing, and it's bizarre. He brings it up. He says, as he goes in, she acted like she hadn't seen another human being in months, and she probably hadn't. She was, so happy she had something to do. But back to my point, how do you turn around and tell somebody like that, an adult, about the real world that is going on out there? Not sure, Jimmy. The Berlin Wall came down. Not too much of a problem. Not sure of the time frame. A totally big difference. And you want me to tell you what the big difference was? And anybody on either side can tell you. First off, and especially in Berlin, you could look over the wall and see the other side. From the good side of Berlin, looking into the other side, into the grayness, and see the difference. Or from the gray side, looking into the colorful, lit-up Berlin Wall side. And you knew there was another world out there. You don't have that option in North Korea. You can't even get close to the DMZ as a civilian. You don't know what's going on. You have no idea. The other side, the resistance, from South Korea, they fly balloons up with hard, little USB drives and hopefully, showing of other things, Hollywood movies or the internet or photographs and video of what's going on out in the rest of the world. Okay, and that stuff has permeated and has gotten into North Korean people. Have been able to see that. But by and large, they don't have the internet. They're not able to see that. They don't have magazines from the South or the West, coming in. They don't have that. They don't. And think about it. And if you're caught with any of that, it's prison. Death for you and your family. So there was a part of the Berlin Wall in some bar in Las Vegas, if I remember, bullet holes and graffiti. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know how we're going to deal with any of that. So I'm positive about all of this. I feel great. It was. I don't want to put too much into it for any of us, but the more that I look at it, something caused this strange turn of attitude. Something caused it, and I'm positive that it comes down to food and medicine and money. It just all ran out. Yeah, that's a really good shot right here. I've seen this before. Thank you. When you look at North and South Korea and China at night, right? Look at look at North Korea. Dark. Think about that. It's absolutely crazy. So let's hope. I think a deal could be made. Most people would say, no, it's impossible. I think that Kim Jong-un is ready to tap out. Ready to tap out. This is like a UFC, man, and you've been in that Hoist Gracie chokehold, for 9 minutes from UFC 1. But yeah, absolutely. All right, I'm going to take a break. If you're on hold, stay right there. I'll pick up your calls after this. It's a big day. It's a big deal. Oh, and you know what? When we come back after the break, and we haven't had this in a while where I can actually comment on this, but with everything that is going on in Washington, what a beautiful day for the news, right? Everything else that is being talked about in Washington just got forgotten about. All of it. How can CNN and Fox run with the headlines, that they normally run with when you have this? Everything else, all the bad news in the world just got overtaken just like that with one comment from Kim Jong-un. Happens pretty quickly. How quickly the news cycle changes today. All right, 323-825-5045 or 323-275-9695. Fadernight, those are my comments. I'm in a good mood. And so there you go. That will wrap another Fadernight on March 8th, 2018. This is show number 818. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Got a great week lined up for you guys next week right here on Fade to Black. Everybody enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Have a great time. Go cook some food. We're going to get out of town, too, as well, and we'll let you know where we're going after we get there, maybe after we return. There you go. Thank you to everybody that called in and tweeted tonight. Amazing show. Great days ahead. Fade to Black's executive producer is Rita Camarion. Show is produced by Hill J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster Drew the Geek. Music Doug Aldridge. Intro Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. Thank you to Jon Rappoport. This broadcast is only copyrighted 2018 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be used, copied, or broadcast, downloaded anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Until Monday, I want everybody to be safe. Go Beckley Teppy.